Hey everybody, it's Gordon Majak here, back with another episode of Timeless Pop, Rock, and Soul. And tonight we are going to be listening to and talking about one of my all-time top three female vocalists. One of my all-time top three, I should say. One of my three favorite female vocalists. And she may be number two, and if we're not careful, she could be number one. She's that good, folks, and I love her that much. Who am I talking about? Well, let's just take a gander at the record here. Here is the CD from the year 2000. And there is the great K.D. Lang, and an album called Invincible Summer, and a song called Love's Great Ocean. Here's a slightly better picture of K.D. Lang. That was one of the highlights of my music career. Not only seeing this incredible artist in concert, the first of about 3 times that I think I've seen K.D. I'm thinking the late 90s. I want to say this is maybe 98, late 97 or early 1998. I think this is maybe 1998 in Seattle, backstage there after her concert. Just a very brief meet and greet. What an absolute sweetheart of a person, and what an incredible singer and artist, as I already said. Now, a little bit of a history background here for me with K.D. Lang before we jump into the song. So I became aware of K.D. Lang back there in late 1987 and early 1988 when she duetted with Roy Orbison on his epic ballad, Crying. And who could forget that? Quite the auspicious debut there for K.D. Lang. The duet with Roy Orbison was an instant classic. That was 1988. Later that year, she released her first solo album, Shadowland. Got a lot of attention for that one and was once again on my radar with that one. I knew about that and knew that she was an up-and-coming artist and was getting a lot of attention and a lot of press. 1992, K.D. had her big pop breakthrough there with the great album Ingenue, and from there she was off and running. And I would say starting there in 1992 with Ingenue, she went on a run. 93, it was the Cowgirls Get the Blues album, soundtrack album, I should say. 1995, she had All You Can Eat. 1997 was the Drag album. That was a great one. 2000 was the album we're going to be listening to here in a minute, Invincible Summer. 2002, The Wonderful World with Tony Bennett. She did that duets album with Tony Bennett. And I think, so that had been 10 years. That's 2002. That's 10 years out from Ingenue, her real big, huge pop breakthrough. And, you know, as she progressed through those albums for that decade there, I mean, she just kept growing and growing and growing in my eyes. I mean, I just kept loving her more and more. And as every album came out, and K.D.'s always been a very eclectic artist. She doesn't follow the norms and the conventions and the rules. She does what she wants. And so her albums are all very different and very unique. And I love her for that, and I respect the hell out of her for that. And by the time she got there, 10 years out from Ingenue to that duet album with Tony Bennett, A Wonderful World with Tony Bennett, what an incredible album. And I think that's about the time. So it's been 20 years now since that duets album with Tony Bennett. I think that's about the time where I start thinking, okay, this is going beyond that she's just a great singer or that she's, capable of some legendary performances. That's when I started feeling to myself, you know what? I'm not sure if there's anyone else I'm not sure if there's another female vocalist that I would rather listen to, rather hear sing just about anything than her. That's when she really got on my radar, not just in terms of an awareness of her music. And like I said, I'd already seen her in concert and stuff, but that's when I really started thinking, she might be my favorite singer. I'm not sure there's anyone I would rather listen to than k.d. lang. And then she topped that. 2004, the great album, Hymns of the 49th Parallel. 2008, the Watershed album. And forget it. I mean, I could not have loved and respected k.d. lang anymore after that. And now that's looking like a 16-year run of those albums that I just mentioned. And just an unbelievable scope of material. And again, like I said, a very eclectic artist. And what can you say about k.d. lang's voice that hasn't already been said and that isn't just talk? Because when you hear her sing and you really listen to her sing, when she hits those notes dead center and colors the emotion of those notes on that perfect pitch that she has, I mean, I don't even know how you describe that. Is it just pure God-given talent? Is it extraordinary technique? Is it about chops? I'm not even sure. I mean, I've seen k.d. lang in concert, as I said, several times, and there's moments where she just opens her mouth and it's like that sound can't be coming from a human being. It's just so beautiful and so rich and so powerful. It just pours out of her. And just an incredible artist. And like I said, I don't throw compliments in these, when I say stuff like, oh, one of my top 10 favorite songs or favorite artists or favorite albums or favorite singers or something. I mean, I put a lot of thought into this stuff. I put a lot of years into thinking about music and analyzing music and programming music and, of course, just loving music and listening to music. I put a lot of thought into these things, and I don't say really anything lightly. At the end of the day, of course, it's all just my opinion, right? Can't take any of this to the bank. They aren't going to give you anything for it. So it is just my opinion, but I think I do have a reasonably informed opinion. And beyond that, of course, there's that place where music can take us and certain artists can take us. And just like we talked about with Barry Gibb here in the last couple of days with that voice and the Bee Gees voices, you can analyze it all you want. And then there's that moment where that person opens their mouth and that sound comes out and it just reaches right inside your soul and just captivates you. From 2000, the year 2000, jumping all the way from the 70s up into the 2000s, and yet it's 22 years ago. How is that possible? And the album is Invincible Summer, and the song is Love's Great Ocean, and this is the incredible, the incomparable k.d. lang.
Love's great ocean came crashing down on me. Overflowing with possibility. On me. Under eternal weight, pull me under, I promise I'll behave. Love's great ocean came sweeping over me. With this notion of positivity.
this song is just so dreamy. I mean, it just floats, and it's unique in her catalog. I mean, that's the thing about Katie Lang, is every album is so distinct from the other albums, and the songs on the albums are so distinct that really, she's one of those artists that once you really get into, like I've been into her for so long now, man, you can pile up quite a catalog, because so much of what she does is so good. So many of the covers, her originals, everything, the duets albums like with Tony Bennett, just incredible.
Hold me under eternal weight. Hold me under, I promise I'll be. Love's great ocean came crashing down on me. Overflowing with possibility. Here in the ocean of deep blue dreams, I'm dreaming of you. Here is the ocean I'm longing to be streaming
And there it is. Katie Lang, Love's Great Ocean. I was laughing because it occurred to me when I was showing you guys this picture that I remembered that Katie Lang is a practicing Buddhist and takes that quite seriously. It's a big part of her life. Good for her. And as I was showing you guys this picture, I thought it's funny because this photograph of her almost resembles the laughing Buddha image that you sometimes see. And I thought, I wonder if that was intentional or just purely cosmic accident. Don't know. Interesting, though. But what about that voice, K.D. Lang? Yeah, I was just sitting here thinking that I could talk all day about her voice and never really say anything because I just don't even know how you describe that voice. Just butter, honey. Wow. Honey butter, butter honey, molasses, right? Her voice is just so sweet and so pure. And seriously, sitting there thinking, you know what? There's no one else I'd rather hear sing anything than her with that beautiful voice. What an incredible artist. One of my top 3. And tomorrow, we're going to get another one. You're going to get 2 of my top 3 favorite all-time female singers in 2 straight days. And then on the 3rd day, we're going to do one of my top 10. But these first 2, KD and tomorrow's subject, right there in the top 3, man. My favorite of the favorites. The people that I could just listen to all day long, not only because of the material, but because of their extraordinary vocal talents. And that is absolutely the case with KD Lang. Wait till you see what we got tomorrow. That's going to be a fun one. Can't wait for that one. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend coming up here. Tomorrow's my birthday. We're going to celebrate with that really cool song I just mentioned. You'll see tomorrow. See you then.